Hello, sports lovers. At this point in time, I think Dillian the body snatcher Whyte is overvaluing himself. He is projecting himself in a light in which I don't think he is there now. He may have been there in the past, and even with that, he turned down the fight with Anthony Joshua, and he's now hunting for the same fight. Dillian the body snatcher Whyte confirmed in the interview with Simon Jordan and Jim White that he has officially received the contract from Matchroom CEO Mr. Eddie Hearn and stated that he was unhappy about a couple of things. The first thing in which he was unhappy about was the rematch clause in the contract. The second was the date of the fight not being stated categorically in the contract. Then the third was something in which he suggested that if he is able to beat Anthony AJ Joshua, then he would be tied to a long-term contract with Matchroom, in which he is also not seeking to do that. I'll bring you all the breakdown of these three things in this particular episode, but you know that you are at the right place and the right channel. So if you have not subscribed to this platform, please do me a favor by subscribing to my platform, pressing the like button, expressing your views in the comment section, and sharing so others can enjoy. Thank you. Now let's take the introduction and I would be back with my breakdown. Now, with my first breakdown, the rematch clause. Dillian Whyte has stated that Anthony Joshua and his team have sent him a contract and there is a rematch clause, and he is unhappy about that. He wanted a one-off fight, then he goes ahead and fights Deontay the Bronze Mamba Wilder in Saudi Arabia. Dillian, what are you smoking? Dillian, what are you smoking? Even if Anthony Joshua loses, there is no guarantee from the Saudis that they would replace Anthony Joshua with Dillian Whyte, because Dillian Whyte cannot generate the amount of money in which Anthony Joshua would generate. Even with Anthony Joshua's stocks coming down, it is still higher than most of boxers in their prime, including Dillian the body snatcher Whyte. And I think even if Dillian Whyte beats Anthony Joshua, his commercial value does not overtake Anthony AJ Joshua immediately. Dillian would have to do it consistently in order to build that market value in which the Saudi wants and wants to put up the most exciting event. Yes, Dillian will come into the fight with some excitement, but they would also want a return on their investment. And I don't think that what the Saudis are projecting, Dillian can be able to deliver that. So he should just focus. If he wants the fight, he should just focus on beating Anthony Joshua and not think about the Saudi fight with Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Because what shows Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder would want to face Dillian the body snatcher Whyte, because he has already agreed in principle to fight Anthony Joshua. He has not agreed to fight Dillian the body snatcher Whyte. And that is the truth. So if he's unhappy with the rematch clause because he wants the Saudi fight, then I'm sorry, Dillian. You must put on your thinking cap. Unless the Saudis have contacted him officially, I think he should get that out of his mind, because he is not a mandatory, or he doesn't have a right to the Saudi fight. No, it's an option in which the Saudis will weigh and look at and see that no, this is the person we want for the fight. And are they going to choose Dillian the body snatcher Whyte? It is up to the Saudis. So Dillian should forget about the rematch clause. I think Dillian is mourning over a lot of things, and he has been doing that. He has been doing that for a couple of years now. He did that when he was first given the opportunity to fight Anthony Joshua 1st June at the Madison Square Garden, in which later Anthony Joshua ended up losing to Andy Ruiz Jr. He was given that same opportunity. He went about rolling about, and that opportunity passed him by. If Dillian really wants to fight Anthony Joshua, he should sign the contract, beat Anthony Joshua, and even do it twice. Imagine they selling the trilogy. Anthony Joshua has knocked him out the first time, Dillian winning the second one, and they are going into a third fight to to prove who is the superior of the two. So Dillian should just, if he really wants to fight Anthony Joshua, then he should sign the contract. And he has stated that he is doing it for the opportunity that comes with it, that comes with fighting Anthony Joshua. Yes, and the opportunity is getting the Saudi deal, and that I've said is not a guarantee for him, Dillian the body snatcher Whyte. So he should remember that beating Anthony Joshua will raise his stocks high, would bring him a little bit of money. It would increase his commercial value. Yes, and imagine he doing it twice. So I think that Dillian should not complain about the rematch. If he really wants to fight Anthony Joshua, he should fight Anthony Joshua and beat him twice. And in principle, I disagree with the rematch clause. In principle, I personally don't agree with the rematch clause. But you, Dillian, you have been calling for the fight because Anthony Joshua is not putting a mandatory position on the line or a guaranteed position on the line or a belt on the line. So there shouldn't be a rematch in this fight. It should be a straightforward fight, as Dillian said. But Dillian had a rematch clause when he was fighting Jermaine Franklin. So why is he turning around now? Is he being a hypocrite? Dillian was entitled to invoke his a rematch clause if Franklin had beaten him, and he and Pervert King too. What was on the line? There was nothing on the line, but that fight had a rematch clause. Pervert King had COVID and etc. If it was true or not, that is not for me to decide. But Dillian triggered his rematch clause. So if Dillian has previously had rematch clauses, then he should expect that Eddie Hearn would put a rematch clause in the contract. And he has been working with Eddie Hearn for the past 7 years. So he should know that because Dillian always benefits from that strategy from Eddie Hearn. So why is he complaining if Anthony Joshua, who is the cash cow of Eddie Hearn, is doing that now? So Dillian, you have no cause to complain. 2, let's talk about the dates. I think Dillian has stated in a previous interview with TalkSports that August 12th is not favorable. He needs the fight to be pushed to September so that they can make a lot of money out of the fight, blah, blah, blah. I think that the date should be cast in stone. If it's not for injury or a drug fill, I don't think the date should be changed because you may have a fighter being training towards a particular target, then the other party, knowing very well their fighter is not ready, would come up with an excuse and prolong your camp, making you the person who is already in shape or almost ready for the fight date overtrain, and that advantages swings to the other person's camp, that is Joshua. So the fight date must be cast in stone unless there is an injury to a party or there is a drug fail. I agree with Dillian on that point. And the third point of he suggesting that he doesn't want anything long term. That means if he fights Anthony Joshua, normally Eddie Hearn these days does not allow fighters to go easily. So if he fights Anthony Joshua and he wins, he would have 2 more fights to fight under the Matchroom contract. Yes, Dillian has always worked with Matchroom, but it was by choice. But if he signs this particular contract, then that and he beats Anthony Joshua, that means he is mandated by hook or crook to work with Matchroom regardless any offer coming from any other side. That is also something in which I don't agree with promoters putting in contracts. Boxing contracts must be flexible for fighters to be able to leave and come back anytime they choose. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen like that unless you are a cash cow like Saul Canelo Alvarez, who can move about and everybody would be willing to work with you because of the money you are able to generate for their company. And now to Eddie Hearn, I think that Eddie Hearn is using this contract, right, with Dillian the Body Snatcher Whyte to protect his fighter Anthony Joshua. And I think that is fair because Eddie Hearn works for Anthony Joshua and he must work in the best interest of Anthony Joshua. So that is very fair. And Dillian Whyte must not complain about it. Dillian Whyte, Eddie Hearn is not a permanent employee of Dillian Whyte. He can decide not to work with him. So if you want a fight with someone whom I work for permanently, then you must give me something. And that is signing a contract to work with me, even if my fighter lose. And the zone and matchroom, they are in a kind of trouble with Saul Canelo Alvarez moving to the PBC with 3-fight deal with Al Heyman. That means their only cash cow now is Anthony Joshua. Yes, Anthony Joshua may have gone down the cliff, but he is still earning good enough money. Yes, he is still earning good enough money. So if Anthony Joshua loses again, that puts a dent in the finances of the zone and Anthony Joshua, and they must secure that with Dillian the Body Snatcher Whyte. So if Dillian really wants a fight, I think he should sign the contract. If he doesn't want the fight, then he should go out there and look for another opponent and face him in the squared circle. This is my take on it. I think Dillian Whyte should stop complaining. He should sign the contract if he wants to really fight Anthony Joshua to prove he is the best or he is better than Anthony Joshua as at now. If not, he should go on and look for another fight. He shouldn't make Anthony Joshua keep him hostage, or a fight in Saudi keep him hostage. No, that should not be the case. He should go out there and make his own opportunity and not trying to parasite on the opportunity of others. Thank you for